Sitting down to film today. It's a good day. It's snowy and cold outside. So let's get ready for a WIP Parade. Hi everyone. It's been a while, but welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if you're new, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I've been gone for about, I believe it's been like 10 or 11 months. Last time that I filmed, I told you all that we were expecting our first baby, and she was born in June. I'll insert a picture of her here for you. And then shortly after that, in October, we moved into our new house. So it's just been really busy. Obviously, then it was Christmas and stuff. So yeah, it's just been a really busy time. And I haven't really been able to film, but now I feel like I have some time and I want to get back to filming my Flosstube. So we're gonna start today with a WIP parade. So all of my WIPs that I'm bringing with me into 2024, I'm going to show you them today. I have plans. I'm not showing you my finishes. I have plans to do another video with my finishes from 2023. I don't really have very many. And my plans for 2024, like my WIP go board and other plans that I have for 2024. So that'll be another video next week or in 2 weeks. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, watch for that later on. So now I guess let's get started. I have, I'm just looking at, if I'm looking down, it's because I have my iPad in front of me with my notes. I have 24 WIPs that I'm bringing with me into 2024. It seems like a good number, I guess. So first one, a lot of these didn't get any progress this year. Obviously, stitching time went down a lot once baby was born, but I have gotten some done, so I'm going to show you the WIPs, but I will say most of them did not get progress this year. Okay, first up we have, this is Snow Village from Country Cottage Needleworks. I don't think I worked on this at all this past year. So this is what it looks like. I have the first two little scenes done. This I started on April 20th of 2022. It's a 32 count linen in pearl gray. I'm stitching it 2/2 with the called for threads, which are a mix of Classic Colorworks and DMC. And I just recently bought, so I hadn't worked on this because the only patterns I had were like down here further and I didn't want to count and make a mistake. So, but now I've recently got like this one that goes under here. So I can pull this out again and start working on it again. Okay. Next up we have Welcome to the Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks. And this one is, I didn't work on it all this year either. But I do have all the patterns, I just haven't worked on it. So, let's show you. This is where I'm at. I've done the first top block, and then I started outlining the second block. But that's as far as I've gotten to. I started this on May 3rd of 2022. May 3rd of 2022. It's a 32 count Lugana in light taupe. I'm doing it 2/2 and with all the called for threads, which are Classic Colorworks. I don't think there's any DMC. I think it's all Classic Colorworks in this, but whatever was called for in the patterns, that's what I'm using. Okay. So next up we have the Heirloom Nativity Sampler by Victoria Samplers. For all of these, just so I don't repeat myself, but I'll put a picture in of what the finished piece will look like. I'll just insert it here so that you can see. So this is the Heirloom Nativity Sampler by the Victoria Samplers. I started this on June 18th of 2022. It's in 32 count Belfast linen in smoky pearl. and I'm doing 2 over 2. And this one I did my own kind of conversion for DMC threads, mostly DMC threads. There's a little bead there. Okay, so there it is. So I've gotten this one. I believe I did this one this past year, but this was already in, and I had these specialty stitches, and I think I had these words in. I believe actually I might have had all the way down to these flowers here. So I did this section, and then I started these specialty stitches under that. This is pretty close, and I would like to finish it this year, so I'm going to try and put that in my plan somewhere to be able to finish it this year. Okay, next up we have, all my projects are next to me here, so that's why I'm looking to the side too. Next up we have All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna Designs. Where is it? Okay, there we go. So this is, I started this, there we go. I started that on July 16th of 2022. I'll just hold that up here. It's a 32 count Lugana in light taupe. I'm doing 2 over 2, and I'm using the anchor threads. Though that's what's called for in the pattern, so, and that's what I'm using. And this is sitting at 8.1% complete. Those other ones weren't in pattern markup RXP, so I don't know what percentage complete they are, but this one I do have in there, so this one is sitting at 8.1% complete. And I know this, what did I do this past year? I believe I finished this tree, and then I think I brought the border over, and then I went on to these things here, these motifs. So it feels like I've done so much work on this, and it's only at 8.1%, but I do really like this one. Okay. Next up we have Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. This one is, I started this one on August 1st of 2022. I'm using a 25 count Ugana in natural, and I'm stitching it with 1 strand over 1 using DMC 632. So this is where I'm at so far. I'll just use the threads here. Let me fix that. There we go. So that's where I am on Pandemic. I really love this one. It's just like, it's really big, so there's a lot of stuff to do. What am I sitting at? I'm at 9.2% done on this one. Okay. Next up, I have the Acorn Patchwork Sampler. It's from a shop called Vivsters on Etsy. I started this on August 7th of 2022. I don't know what fabric this is. I lost the tag for it, so I'm not really sure what it is. And excuse all the threads that will get eventually cut off once I stitch over the backs. I am doing this 1 strand over 1 using the called for DMC, and this one is currently sitting at 19.6%. Okay. Next up we have Trick or Treat from Cottage Garden Samplings, and it's in this, I keep it in this Halloween project bag that I made. Okay, this is, did I say it's by Cottage Garden Samplings? But I started this on October 2nd of 2022. It's a 40 count Newcastle linen in summer khaki. And I'm doing 1 strand over 2 full cross using the provided DMC conversion that's in the pattern. So I've done 2 squares. I believe I did this square. That one was already done last year, and then this square I did this year. And then I started a tiny section right there. There's a little bat that I started. This one is also a paper pattern, so I don't know the percentage complete. Way. Okay, next I have Halloween Quaker. This is by Leela Studio. I started this one on October 16th. I also keep it in this project bag, which is another one that I made. So I started on October 16th of 2022. It's a 25 count Lugana in Stormy Night. And I'm stitching this 1 over 1 using the DMC conversion from the pattern. So this is where I'm at on that. So this was called, just fold it so it's easier to hold, on WIP Go last year, and I think I did the witch and the moon. And then it was actually just called for WIP Go this year for January. It was number 22, I think. And so I did this I didn't finish Halloween. And I did this bird here, this little motif, the bottom of the broom. And then I went over here and I did the pumpkins, these ones, and I started this row of houses down here. But that brought me to my 1,500 stitches, which is my WIP Go goal for all my projects. So I am putting this one away for now. But that one is sitting at 32.1% complete. Okay, next up I have, I'm trying to get these to sit right. Christmas Quaker 2 Songs of the Season by Bygone Stitches. I started it on October 31st of 2022. It's a 32 count Belfast linen in light taupe. There we go. And I'm using DMC 3777 for the red, and then DMC 936 for the green. So all the motifs and stuff are in the red, and then the green is going to be all the song titles. So I think, what did I do this year? I believe I worked on this big motif this year, and then I was bringing this one down, if I remember correctly. But I am stitching this 2 strands over 2, and this is sitting at 4.3% complete. Okay, next up I have Fall on the Farm by Little House Needleworks, and I keep it in this project bag here. I started this on November 5th of 2022 using a 32 count Edinburgh linen in Vintage Country Mocha. So this is where I am. Let's go back a bit. So I've outlined all 9 of the piece of the patterns, because it's 9 parts in this. So all 9 pieces are done. There's a needle there. And then I've done 2 boxes. I'm doing this 2 over 2. I did a DMC conversion of it. And then this is also paper patterns, so I don't know the percentage that it's percentage complete. Okay, next up we have on Christmas Day. Oh, I lost my threads, that's fine. This is On Christmas Day by Janny Hubble. It's very hard to see. There it is. This was in the Gift of Stitching magazine, issues 55 to 59. There was like 4 parts, I think. And then I started it on November 27th of 2022. It's a 32 count Lugana in Vintage Stormy Night, so it's like that printed fabric. And I'm using for the dark one, it's DMC 939, and then the light one is DMC 168. I'm doing 2/2 full cross, and I don't really have a percentage on this either because it's like 4 pieces, so it didn't really go into markup correctly, so I don't know how much complete I'm done. Okay, next up we have the I'll Be Home for Christmas Advent Calendar by Modern Folk Embroidery. I started this one on December 1st of 2022. And this is where I'm at. I don't have anything above that. So I just started by doing the boxes with the dates. This is a 32 count Belfast linen in charcoal. I'm stitching it 2/2, and I'm using DMC 822 for the white and 3852 for the yellow. And this one is sitting at 9.1% complete. Okay, next up I have my Christmas Bells sampler. I started, but this is by Heartstring Samplery. I started this on December 12th of 2022. And this is where I'm at on that. It's a 36 count Edinburgh linen in flax. It's 2/2. And I'm doing a DMC conversion for all the border colors, and then that middle color is a Gentle Arts Banker's Gray, and this is sitting at 42.7% complete, and I would like to finish this one this year as well. Okay, and next up is the last WIP from 2022. It is called Desert Morning by Carolyn Manning Designs. This one I've like very little started on it. So this is, I started on December 28th of 2022. This is a 40 count Newcastle linen in pearl gray. I'm using all the called for DMC. I'm stitching 1/2 full cross, and this is sitting at 1.5% complete. Okay, so that is all of the ones from 2022. So just give me 1 minute and I will get my 2023 WIPs ready. Okay, I'm back. So now we're going into all the WIPs that I started in 2023. So there were 14 from 2022 and there's 10 from 2023. So the first one is, it's just called Whale. I don't know if it has a name, by Wild Bluebell Patterns on Etsy. I started this on February 18th of 2023. It's a 32 count Belfast linen in black, and I'm stitching this 2/2 using the called for DMC. This is sitting at 16.5% complete. I really love how this looks. The blue is like really pop, blue and white really pops on the black fabric. Okay. Next up I have Fancy and ABC from Modern Folk Embroidery. This was, I believe this was like a new start on my WIP Go board for March. So I started this on March 10th of 2023. And I'm not very far into it. I'm just gonna hold it up like this. So this is where I got to. I think it looks really good. I really love this color combination. So this is a 28 count Lugana in lichen gray, using DMC 3022, and I'm stitching it with 1 strand over 1. this is sitting at 1.5% complete. So 28 count 1 over 1. I decided to do that because I wanted it to be like smaller, and these stitches are like super small. I don't even know if I can focus it that close. It's hard to get it to focus. Anyways, these stitches are super small, but I think it looks really good. Okay, next up we have Before I Sleep from Long Dog Samplers. I started this one on April 1st of 2023. And this is where I'm at. Maybe I stitched all the way over here because I wanted to make sure that I had enough, and like my border is, because I had like a kind of a big border, I didn't center it properly. So my border is like a little bit close, but I did end up having enough. So this is where the majority of the stitching has been done so far. This is on a 32 count Lugana, using DMC 413, and I'm stitching 1 over 1. I went through like a little phase of wanting to stitch like 1 over 1 on higher counts so that my pieces would be smaller. And I do really like how it ends up looking because it looks so like tiny and like clean. I really like the look. It is a little bit difficult to stitch though because it's so small. And this is currently sitting at 11.8%. When I do these WIP parades, I see all my old WIPs and I'm like, oh, I want to work on that. I want to work on that. I want to work on that. And then I start new things instead. So next up we have Quaker Geometric Puzzle by Ink Circles. Again, I don't have very much started on this. I started this one because I had finished my Quaker floral puzzle, which I'm going to show you in my finishes. And then I was like, oh, I want a new Ink Circles. So I ended up starting this one, which is, Quaker Geometric Puzzle. I started it on April 16th of 2023. I'm using a 36 count Edinburgh linen in flax, and I'm stitching it 2 over 2 using the called for DMC. This is sitting at 1.8% complete. Next up is another Long Dog Samplers. It's actually what I'm currently working on right now, so it's in my hoop. But this is Pavane for These Times by Long Dog Samplers. I started this on July 20th of 2023 using a 40 count Newcastle linen in natural, and I'm stitching this 1 strand over 2 using DMC 400. This one is currently sitting at 11.6%. I have this in my hoop because this was also called for January WIP Go, and I need to do 1,500 stitches. I've done about 1,000 so far, so I have another 500 to do before this goal is met. But I've been working down here on this plant pot, and now I'm kind of bringing the border down. But I love this one too. Let's take a thumbnail. Okay. So next up, I have that back. Where am I? Okay, so this was kind of an impulse start. It's The Grand Library by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Amy Stewart. I saw it and I love reading, so this kind of like resonated with me and I wanted to start it. I'm using a 28 count gridded Lugana, and I'm stitching it 2 over 110 stitch using the called for DMC. I started this on August 8th of 2023. There's a lot of hanging threads on this, so you'll just have to bear with me on that one. But I am stitching this Extreme Cross Country by color. So I've completed 1 color out of 90, which was, sorry, I have to back up so that you can see this all. It's very hard to like see anything right now on it because there's threads everywhere. But yeah, so that was 1. Let me see if I can kind of hold up a little bit. Like this is the middle of it. So there's like a chair here, which I can see because I know what it is, and some curtains and stuff. So 1 out of 90 colors. I picked the one that had the most stitches and I started with that. So there was 17,187 stitches in that color. So that's when I started with. And I have completed those stitches, so it's sitting at 4.3% complete. Next up, is a restart. I originally started this in 2022, but I didn't like the fabric that I chose, so I ended up restarting it this year. So actually that was pretty good. Between August 8th and when I started this one on December 5th, I didn't have any other new starts. But then this one I started on I restarted on December 5th of 2023. This is Pringles by Little House Needleworks. And I'm just going to show you my original. So this was the original one I stitched. I was doing it on a 40 count. I think this is platinum, and I didn't really like it because I had to switch out the white to make it show up, and just, yeah, I didn't really want to stitch this on 40 count. So I ended up switching it out for a 32 count Belfast linen in natural with the gold sparkle in it. Let me turn this so you can see it. And so I restarted kind of in the same spot, and I like this a lot better. This is 2/2 full cross, and I'm doing it with a mix of the called for Classic Colorworks and some DMs, with Classic Colorworks and DMC, and I have like a few substitutions just based on what I thought looked best. So again, I restarted this on December 5th, 2023, and I'm at 6% complete. So I've just really worked on just this one window. But I like how you can see the white a lot better on this fabric, and I do like the sparkle behind it. Okay. Next up is another full coverage piece. It's also another restart. Most of my full coverages I ended up restarting because I wanted to do it in 10 stitch, and I wanted to do it color complete. I really didn't like working in like pages. It was just too like structured and rigid for me. I like doing cross country. So I ended up restarting all of my full coverages, get it with gridded fabric so that I could do extreme cross country. So this one, there's very little restarted on this, but this was Magical Merry-Go-Round by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Josephine Wall, and I restarted it on December 8th of 2022. So this is the only, really didn't get much. It's like not even a 0.1%. But it's 28 count easy grid, and I'm doing 2/110 stitch again using the called for DMC. Okay, next up we have, it's called Beyond Venu by Long Dog Samplers. I'm going to show you it. It's like a birth sampler, and I'm stitching it for my daughter to put up in her room. But I started it on December 25th of 2023, and I want to finish it by her birthday, her first birthday, which is in June. So that means I have to do about 2,700 stitches a month until then to get it completed. So that's my goal for this one. So I've done the 2,700 stitches for this month, and this is where I'm at on it. This is a 32 count Belfast linen in Moon Dust, so it's like a really, really, really pale purple. And then I'm using Threadworks 1041. Not sure what the actual color name is, but it's Threadworks 1041. I actually need to go pick up some more because I'm not gonna have enough to finish this. I really love the Threadworks because it's like, I find it very cost effective to use. You get a lot in the skein, and there's a lot of variation in it. So I forgot to write down how much this, I think this is like 17% complete. Okay, and my last WIP of 2023, I ended up signing up for the Heaven and Earth Designs Stitch Along for 2024. So there was like 10 designs you could pick from. You picked one design out of that to stitch, and they're like minis. If you complete 4 full pages by the end of the year, then you get the rest of the charts from the Stitch Along. And then if you complete the full pattern by the end of the year, you get the rest of the charts from the pattern, from the SAL, plus you get, I think, 2 of your choice from their website. So I decided to start that. I'm doing the mouse one. I'll show you the picture of it. I think this is like a crop portion from another design, and I'm not sure what the design was called, but it's by Cyril Marchetti. And I started this on December 31st, 2023. This is also in my Q-Snap right now, so I'm not going to take it out, but this is where I'm at. I'm also doing this again. I'm doing it like kind of extreme cross country by color, but like color completing, but you only get like three pages at a time. So obviously, like, I'm only doing it for those 3 pages, and then I'll have to do it again for the other, once we get the other ones. We get more in April and then July and October, I think. So this is 28 count gridded even weave. I'm doing 2 strands over 1 10 stitch, and I'm using the called for DMC. So the percentage, it's 12.3% complete of the pages that we received right now. So it's not for the whole design. It's not 12.3% of the whole design. It's only of the pages that we've received so far. I think I've completed 4 colors out of this, and I'm working on the 5th one now. There was more this way, but I just didn't take it out of the Q-Snap. So that was kind of a spur of the moment start as well. But those are all my WIPs that I'm bringing with me into 2024, and I'm hoping to make some good progress on them. But I will do a video either in a week or 2 weeks about what my plans are for 2024. I am doing WIP Go, so you saw the 2 from January's numbers. And then obviously I have plans for my the birth sampler for my daughter. But other than that, I'll go over all my plans in another video. Thanks for coming back. I know it's been a while since I've been here, so thanks for sticking around, and I hope to see you again. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment and tell me how many WIPs you're bringing with you into 2024, and maybe what your plans are for 2024. Okay, thanks. Bye.